Cinderin and the boys are able to outdraft Liquid, kind of as they did in Game 2, and get a really, really good solution to the Naga strat, then they could take a game on Team Liquid. I don't know. Both teams could. I feel like they'd have to do it in very different ways, but it is incredibly close between these two sides. Very, very much at the same level at the moment. And into the draft we go.
It's an ogre.
Oh!
With the
Luna.
The strat revealed already in the first two. There we go.
Oh.
I mean, isn't that so dangerous, though? You're going to say, okay, literally, this is how we're going to play the game.
Both teams are revealing their strats.
That's it.
I mean, you talk about Alliance revealing strat, Escape's done the same thing.
Wow.
They said, this is deciding game. We know Alchemist is going to be banned in the second stage. Let's get Koik the hero where he can shine. Well, kind of shine again, because he got entirely banned out in game 1. Game 2, he got to shine a bit with the OG, but they're like, unless you want to first to pick the OG here, it's going to be banned probably with the Alch, so they're like, let's do it, let's Alchemist.
There you go. But isn't that risky? I mean, we did see an Alch get picked up second pick yesterday, and then AA was picked up after.
I mean,
it's a game 3 decider. I mean, anything's going to be risky.
They
What's
could,
unusual? I don't know.
They could just ban the AA. I wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, that'd be a good pick.
It really does cause so many issues for the Alch.
Yeah, could be. It's a bit of a weak support duo with Shadow Demon because they're like 2 5-position heroes, but
yeah, that's true.
Not sure if you're how worried you are, but neither of them robes either, which means Alchemist is going to have a free time mid lane. I think Yapsor is like, I don't want to play Shadow Demon, I want to play AA. I want to roam around and pressure those lanes, contest the enemy jungle. So I don't think we'll see it. I like the Bat Ban because that's a hero that can get into the Alchemist jungle, take his stacks, and really limit his farm quite well. One of the few heroes that can do that, so it's a good ban to help protect the Alchemist.
Oh wow, we're going to see the Juggernaut banned out, finally. There we go.
Wow.
So both teams kind of open without worrying that they're giving anything, crucial away.
I mean, they gave
and just
everything
going for
away.
their own strategy, which is basically saying exactly what we said yesterday at the start of the show, that in this meta, teams normally play or tend to play their own game rather than reacting to the others.
Yeah, that's a very good point. I mean,
but this is the first game that they actually do that.
Yeah. Here we go.
So they grew so much.
They really did. Well, I mean, all the secrets are out. This is it. They got nothing left to hide. Both these teams have so much experience. They're going to steal the clockwork, I would say.
Kind of steal, yeah.
Come on, you can't let the App Store have it. You don't want to waste a ban. Alliance is good with it. They jacked it, dude.
They definitely won it as well. Like, you're not just, it's like a 50-50 thing, I guess.
Oh, okay.
80-20 maybe.
80-20. Oh, I can take those odds. All right.
But yeah, you're coming out of a banning stage. You're not picking a hero as a block pick out of a banning stage.
Okay.
It's like an added benefit where it's like, we're going to take this and also prevent them getting it. But
you've lost me. This is too far for me. I'm not.
What are they doing? Clockwork is this going to be like some Clock Shadow Fiend or something? Shadow Fiend's very good against the Alch in the mid lane. Could see the Cogs Deny trick coming into play because Clock's not a hero, he doesn't match up great against either Ogre or Alchemist. He's not like a counter.
Yeah.
You don't see these heroes and think, oh, Clock's going to be a great hero. No.
Isn't that a little risky though? And Luna needs a...
Talking about block picks. Are we sure we have the teams the right?
Yeah. I want to say as well with Escape Gaming, that's more likely, I feel, to be Era safe lane Alchemist and Koi for mid lane Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, Koi is the Nature's Prophet player for, I mean,
obviously they can do tricks in MP.
So.
You don't think they do that?
I think, well, maybe with the SF pick they're going to change it up because they don't want Alch versus SF, but...
I think you don't want to put one out versus SF.
I think you still want Alch versus SF.
Yeah, true, that's right.
There's the SF with Clockwork.
Yeah.
I said good against Alch and good with Clock.
Great prediction there. But, okay, isn't this super greedy though from Alliance? All these guys need level and farm.
For sure it's a bit greedy, but Clock doesn't, I guess.
Yaps or Rubik.
Oh boy, oh jeez.
Rubik's good against Clock. You get hooked, you lift Clock out of his cogs.
Are you looking at Escape Gaming's lineup and thinking that's enough already to shut down a very greedy lineup? Because they need a lot of them. I mean, they're going to time themselves.
Both teams are going greedy here. It's like neither team is really shutting down their opponent's greed right now. If anything, it's Alliance who is slightly faster paced as far as being able to fight early. Like once Luna gets level 6, level 7, you can go into the enemy jungle or go into the enemy side of the map. SF can just get his level 7 as well and do a similar thing, go contest the out stacks. If anything, I feel Escape are the ones slightly greedier, even at this point.
I mean, Sheeber, what you said when we were first starting this thing about both teams not really caring about each other, I feel like you are absolutely right. Both these teams just want to ignore each other, get as much farm and gold as possible, and then go ham.
Just do their own thing.
Jeez.
This will be probably, right now, based on what we're seeing, it's not looking like a high kill game or anything like that.
Oh no, buckle in, kids. It's going to be like an intricate game of chess.
Alliance, do they run the Luna Shadow Demon +1 aggressive?
Ah, they
Okay.
could actually. It's definitely a possibility. Maybe they'll wait to see what the escape carry is going to be.
Yeah.
To hear that like a lifesteal that you could bully in lane, then sure.
And Alliance has last pick, so they have all the time to talk about that and decide that later on.
It was during the qualifiers we saw a lot of aggro. There were a few teams running aggro.
Yeah, they were very hot in that, and they won quite a few games with that as well. I really like Rubik against Clockwork. Just lift him out of it.
Yep.
Easy. Save your teammate. Save
The one
the
thing
world.
with the aggro tri lane is Clock's not a good 1v1 hero so much. Doesn't 1v1 a Nature's Prophet, that's for sure.
Yeah.
So not too keen on the idea of Clock being in a 1v1. If they want to do that, you want to pick something like an Axe or a Tide that can actually benefit from having a 1v1 matchup.
And if you are going to run an aggressive tri lane with a Nature's Prophet somewhere else on the map, you always have the chance of having a 3 versus 4 very early on as well, which also puts you in a disadvantage.
Alright, gonna get out that Weaver. I mean, that's a pretty good ban. He can put on a lot of early game damage and kind of sway this from one team to another, so...
It's an annoying, elusive hero.
Yeah, it's quite annoying.
What are you worried about here? Maybe a Slaughter or something if you want to ban out. More minus armor to go with the SF to boost up the physical damage.
And that is a combo that they've been doing SD Slardar support duo quite a bit. Yeah. That certainly could be a cool. Maybe, you know, as we do always mention Handskin Disruptor, so you've got some catch potential.
Yeah, there's
They've
the
done the
starter.
Slardar.
Gyro!
Gyro
Oh, they...
pick.
Come on, now that's a denied pick. Come on!
No,
Well, the
No.
thing is, Lance already got Luna.
Oh.
I mean, Luna Gyro,
there's no...
not a combo that we see a lot.
Support Gyro, you get a Shadow Blade. If you activate Rocket Barrage and then hit Shadow Blade, they can't even see you when you attack them, bro. That's
I
crazy.
mean, that would be great if Rocket Barrage still did damage.
It is the ultimate revenge from yesterday. Escape yesterday got beaten by Gyrocopter and Alchemist and
I'm
Nathan
surprised we're
Prophet.
not hyping up the side gunner slacks.
Oh,
Yeah, it's out.
It's coming, maybe.
Side gunner.
Side Gunner! Oh, this is the
Yeah,
Alchemist Side Gunner! Holy God.
God.
I can't wait. Get wrecked, Luna. And a Sand King.
Sand King is the last one there.
I mean, that's a lot of burst damage to take out the Gyrocopter and be able to escape too, so pretty good.
So Odie Pixel, up to you
I
to
mean-
decide who you're gonna go for.
I really feel that the other day we saw quite for playing heroes like the Naga Siren, any kind of this farming mid-core he does amazing on, and this game he's going to be playing the Alchemist, so for me, I've got to side with Escape Gaming with that lineup alone.
I'm feeling the SF Clockwork. I think Alka's going to struggle in lane, you know. And I'm going to go with Alliance on this one.
Do you need more time, Jake?
I do need a lot more time, but... I'm gonna go with the Alchemist just because I think there could be a Side Gunner. They're not gonna win, but I want to see it. Screw it. I'm gonna
Escape
go.
as well. I'll go with the Lions. I said earlier I'll stick with my guns, and it's a 2-2 from us. Time to hear what the commentators have to say, and also time to see what these two teams are going to do to each other, because it is going to be brutal. It is the final match of this best of 3. Winner goes to the grand finals. It's Alliance versus Escape with Annie and Fogged.
Prepare for battle.
Hello everyone and welcome to the final game of this series. Like Sheever said, winner moving on to the grand finals, loser going home. It is down to this match. We have got some crazy lineups. Fogged, what are you thinking?
Well, you know, we got definitely crazy lineups is the words. You know, we've got this Clockwork support being played by Hanskin. They're doing the cogs already. They're starting to stack up the souls. You know, Shadow Demon hits one, SF denies the other, or denies the same one, gets his souls boosted up. So I'm gonna like Alliance's lineup just a bit more. It's gonna be very hard. I think it's gonna be a bit difficult for this Alchemist. Of course, the Ogre will be starting in the mid lane, pressuring the Shadow Fiend a bit, but him starting out with such a high advantage of base damage should give him more than enough to be able to deal with that. At least to just be able to, you can even just like right click the Ogre. Maybe they just bring in the Shadow Demon or just the Clockwork. Maybe Clockwork's just he's gonna act as this like Undying. He's gonna just follow this Ogre around wherever he goes, kind of in that same type of mentality.
Yeah, when these teams were picked up, I was like, are the team tags wrong here? There's a Nature's Prophet and a Gyro on
we got a
Escape.
battle.
And then that support Clockwork for Alliance. That's usually a Yapsor hero now. Like you mentioned, a little bit of a duel at the runes, but shouldn't be too bloody. No one actually going up top. It is unclaimed. It is a race to the finish. Both teams probably really thinking the other has some sort of claim on it. Alchemist would sure love to go and grab that up, but doesn't skill the Greevil's Greed. Just going to be playing this one safe. Let's see who finds it first.
EGM, he's got disruption
He's
too.
waddling. He's so slow, though. Rubik's got the brown boots. They're going to be going in. The Disrupt comes in, and EGM snaps it up.
Two bounty rings for Alliance, too.
Yeah.
So yeah, Rubik's going to actually be the one to start mid rather than the Ogre. Ogre's going to, I guess, go up and to help the Fury on top to give him a nice guaranteed start. But yeah, it's a Shadow Fiend with, 80 base damage already coming out because of the souls. So he should be doing decently well versus this dual lane. But saying that, the Rubik just comes in and keeps just the pressure on.
Yeah, YapzOr Rubik, I'm so excited to see this. He's super active. We've seen him as a support.
EGM top lane right now, getting a lot of pressure on him with the Ignite and the Fury and right clicks. Does he get the body block? No, but almost drops to just those auto attacks.
Yeah, Cinderin still has that cooldown on the Ignite, so no more damage coming out. Shadow Demon going to be alright. Now, the Shadow Demon Luna, it's not a combo that's been let through thus far. Shadow Demon banned out in most of the matches here at the DreamLeague Finals. What do you think is going to be changing around now that it's available?
I mean, it's Shadow Demon Luna. Like, this is... it's a very devastating combo. We've seen it coming out, obviously, from VP, probably the ones who pick it the most out of anybody, but it's ridiculously powerful throughout the early stages of the game, and then later on, you just have these ridiculous illusions constantly being thrown at you that, it's just illusions. It's not really anything that they're committing with it.
All right, Fogged, you are an expert analyst. What are our % chances of seeing a Gyro side gunner to appease their action slacks?
What do you mean percent? I don't know. If it goes like 90 minutes, of course he's gonna get one. Why not give him Ags? But I don't know. It's not really like a great, it's not really a great Aghanims bonus. He'll probably give it to pretty much everybody before he gives it to the Gyrocopter, unless he just wants to give him to for stats. But I mean, okay, maybe like a 10% chance or something. There you go, Slacks, 10%.
All right.
Random 10%.
Slacks, you hold on to that little hope, clutch it close to your chest, and we'll see how this game's going to be playing out. I mean, this game from both sides has the potential to go really late. Luna can continue to scale up phenomenally into the late game on the side of Alliance.
Hanskin trying to put some pressure right now on Era. They have the Sand King as well rotating in. They got him in the cogs. They've got the stun, and Era's going down.
Yeah, it's going to be a dead Gyro under his tier 1 tower. Hanskin gets the gold for that, so that Clockwork is now going to have a lot of money at his disposal.
Mid lane, Limp gets lifted up, gonna get thrown down on the low ground. He's getting right clicked down with the acid spray. He has a fairy fire. Uses it, but yep, Fury on TP comes in and not even needed, actually. So Trixie kind of ports in. Felt like he was needed, but now he has to just run his way top. So a little bit of missed timing there from Trixie, but still they get the kill, which is great.
Yep, so it's just going to be a 1-1 tie on the map, but getting down that Shadow Fiend is pretty dope. That means Alchemist has a little bit more time to farm up. He's doing pretty well in terms of his CS, 12-1. Our big leader, though, is going to be the Sand King, 15-3. That is a very active Sand King.
I think Era's going to struggle like crazy. They're going to have to give him help here because he can't really walk up. Gyrocopter is one of those heroes who has only 365 attack range, so he actually gets in range of the Caustic multiple times. If there's a couple Caustics on the creep and then he gets stunned under it, Gyro is not a tanky hero in the early stages of the game, so this is great laning positioning right now for Alliance.
All right, Escape. They've got their Gyrocopter. Now, this is a hero that has not felt a lot of love recently. Of course, Alliance picking it up in one of their series earlier on yesterday, but it's not top tier here. It's clearly not ultra meta. Oh, here we go. Hanskin is able to get some cogs, but YapzOr, he's dealing with this like a champ. In fact, Alchemist with the acid spray might be doing enough. Oh, the rocket flare kills off the Rubik, and Hanskin's able to go and dodge out any other damage coming back in. Disrupt to save his life. Acid spray. Will it be enough? Oh man, that Clockwork has to count his lucky stars.
EGM actually almost killed him there with that disruption. I guess
he's like, all right, let me hold you in place for a little bit under an Alchemist. There's no way this can go wrong.
He maybe thought that the range creep and the melee creep were going to hit him and get the kill on him, so at least he made the effort to try to help out his buddy, but almost killing him. Now we see the double suicide coming out from both supports on the side of Alliance, and this is the time for YapzOr to make the movement to help Era in the bottom lane, because he's going to need it. And as we say it, Lift, Jonas just gets brought down there.
Man, YapzOr has been doing so much work here, definitely conducive to his play style. He likes to move around. He likes to make the plays. I think the Lift is going to do a lot of work here.
I think he saw, I want to say that he saw YapzOr with that ward that he has on the side there. So I think of a little bit of a misplay there from Jonas, but still, great opportunity there from YapzOr's rotation and just getting the full rocket barrage plus Lift into nuke. But yeah, YapzOr making the moves.
Meanwhile, Loda's been farming up, so all of the top of the last hitters are on the side of Alliance. They're getting a lot of space for themselves. As Alchemist picks up more levels in Greevil's Greed, that's going to change. His net worth is going to start to spiral up, but For now, it's looking good. Alliance are getting what they need out of the early game. Limp, though, as I say that, maybe in some serious trouble. He's under the acid spray and the Fade Bolt, and one bop of Koipa's fist finishes him off, and there's going to be a stun coming back up. All of a sudden, oh god, Caster's Curse. Alliance, what are you doing to me?
Yep.
Loda able to skirt away. EGM may give his life for this. He's fresh out of mana. They just don't have the catch to continue to go in and pressure.
We actually haven't been seeing people go for too many points in Shadow Poison lately, just because how much of it's been getting nerfed. You know, it's gotten massive nerfs in the last patch, maybe like a patch ago, and I think it's VP who kind of started just doing the max disruption soul catcher build and just completely ignoring poison in the laning phase. But 2 points can be okay, but I want to see EGM focusing more on just maxing out the disruption early on, just because it benefits so much. Like, you're even able to farm with the illusions, and you know, you don't really feel like it's just like Shadow Poison is just so nerfed. It just kind of stinks.
Cinder, and he's going in once again on the Ogre. This guy is just playing a ton of Ogre this tournament. It is a super strong early game support, just walking around, rotating, getting a lot done. And like you mentioned, he's going to transition into basically a Bloodlust in a can.
Yep. Bloodlust in a walking stun. Jonas gets lifted up, but with the raindrop, with the TP, after he gets lifted, he's just able to TP freely out of that situation bottom.
Let's talk a bit about our Nature's Prophet, because it's something that is very rarely picked up. Alliance have been the only ones giving it some love, but Trixie playing it here, having a fair amount of success, third on the net worth chart, going up against a Luna and a Shadow Demon in lane.
Yeah, they're giving him a bunch of help, bringing a lot of heroes up there. He should be fine. I mean, it's a dual lane that can't really deal with the Furion, so he should do well in the laning phase. It's just about what his decision making is later on with this Furion, how he uses teleports, how he uses ultimates, how he really gets involved. I do see the smoke right now coming out from the lines, Hanskin and Jonas, and it's an illusion, guys. You're still smoked.
That didn't break your smoke, son. I don't know what the thought process was there.
A little you know, it's you're on land, a little bit of pressure coming out. They saw him. They thought it was just a free kill coming in. But yeah, their smoke wasn't broken. They blow the epicenter there to try to kill it. But nice little play by Koik, but I guess just throwing the illusions there, being aware that something was going down, and they even throw the scan on top now.
Alright, so that's Escape getting a little bit of freedom, knowing that at least 2 heroes are occupied elsewhere on the map. Yapsor, again, he's just making incredible amounts of space here. This Rubik is having a great game so far. Sprout lands onto EGM. He's going to go ahead, disrupt the Prophet. Cinderin, though, still slowing him down. Gets the Fire Blast and the Ignite. Loda comes in, trying to help out. They land that Lucent Beam. EGM, he's still getting low. The Treants, will they finish him off? It looks like they are able to do so. Now another Sprout holding Loda back in place, but Hanskin, he's going in. He's trying to get aggressive. He does have the cogs available. Just going to hold on to them for now, knowing he can't commit for the kill. May as well not put himself in danger.
Yeah, Ogre just a bit too tanky to put him in there, but if he was trying to go for the Furion, but Furion with phase boots and the Windlace and with the body blocks from Everett Cinder could not get the grab on him.
Alright, so things getting a little bit active here. Alliance, they're down 2 kills on the board, but the overall net worth is still looking
bottom
good.
lane, trying to go for a play on Jonas, gets stunned up, gets the lift on Shadow now with the call down. Oh man, EGM's looking to be
He goes for the panic disrupt, but I don't think this is going to help out here. EGM goes, tries to spray Shadow Poison onto Yapsor. Yapsor finishes him off with a Fade Bolt, and now Trixie moving in. They should be able to find the kill on Jonas. He's got to leave eventually. They're a little bit lacking on vision. Their AoE is not great. Does Jonas get away with this? No, they pop the sentry, and that's going to be an easy kill.
Yapsor level 6 already in 8 minutes with Arcane Boots, Stick, and a Raindrop. He's having quite an impact already everywhere, showing up in every single lane. Yeah, I mean Yapsor. He's just Yapsor things.
Escape. They're taking a page out of last game's book. They're going in, pushing early towers, clumping together pretty tightly. That's so far working out. Alliance don't feel safe contesting that, but of course Alliance getting free farm on a Luna, that is something scary that Escape are going to have to deal with.
Yeah, the one thing is that Alliance doesn't really have a straight-up frontliner. They just have like this Shadow Demon who's able to put people under and throw illusions to do that. Because obviously Shadow Fiend and Luna, not really the best 2 frontliners. Maybe they'll go for some type of build that'll make them a bit tankier, but usually we just see the Dragon Lances coming out. Shadow Fiend tends to go for like the Shadow Blade or into like Silver Edge or just Dragon Lance and BKB and stuff like that. But we'll see what he opts to go for with himself. He brings out a Raindrop just because of the magical nukes that Escape does have on their lineup right now.
Clockwork soaking up some of that yummy XP mid. Hanskin going to be able to find his hook shot soon. And how's that going to change up the play? Is Alliance going to get more aggressive, or are they going to wait till Luna gets some items?
They might be able to make some plays with
Oh, Loda. Come on, man. Every time I say your name, this happens.
You're jinxing him. Yapsor again, though.
I'm so sorry.
Every single time there's been an action, it's been Yapsor making the moves. He steals Lucent Beam now, so he's got the double nuke factor, obviously with Lucent Beam and Fade Bolt. Trixie as well with those rotations. Era, that was very good rotation. This is something that we keep seeing. You know, Era takes Escape especially. They emphasize on taking the bottom tower, and then as soon as they do, Era just gets the hell out of there and makes a move to the enemy short lane. Jonas gets a stun.
Yeah, this is actually really dangerous. This Stolen Lucent theme.
Oh, Yapsor!
That's just not the best. Tower going down, and now the rest of Escape, I mean, they're starting to burn low. Their mana's wearing thin. They might be able to find the kill in the gyrocopter. Limp is going in. Shadow Poison off the mark. They've got to get vision of him somehow. Crawling through the trees. They will find the kill onto the gyro. EGM, though, left to his own devices. They're trying to get Trixie as low as possible on the back lines. There's going to be the stolen Burrow Strike back on through from Yapsor. He's just chilling in the cogs, enjoying his spoils of war. He does have a TP. Try to bail out. Got no mana, though.
He's just making the plays. Like this is what they want to do. You know, making space for the Alchemist to just free farm. Yapsor like, picking up the Lucent Beam, nukes, steals Burrow Strike's on top, nets his team like 2 or 3 kills there just from his movement with his teammates. This guy's all over the place, and now they even claim the mid tower as well as the top tower. Escape looking like they're making the right moves all over the place, doing a lot of aggressive moves, just giving these Alchemists just full free farm now for themselves.
Really similar to last game in the sense that Escape are prioritizing structures, knowing that the more they limit Alliance's area to farm, the better it's going to be with heavy heroes like the Shadow Fiend and the Luna. And like you mentioned here, Quakefoot just taking up that Ancient stack, and he's going to be doing it by himself with that armlet pretty handily. He's not feeling too threatened.
Yeah, just throwing acid sprays the whole time. It's a big stack, so it's a little bit hard for him to just run in when his Chemical Rage is down, but he's got Chemical Rage now. He's going to heal up a little bit, and then now he can walk in with the armlet, clean up that. I think it was like what, maybe even like a quad stack, I think it was, but as far as I can see right now, it was a triple. But he maybe killed like the other ones up. Yeah, whatever. Either way.
Yeah, he's doing good work. He's got 4 points in the Greevil's grade. His net worth is starting to just, whoop, there it goes all the way up.
Relic online in 20 gold, and he's got another stack too. He's like, oh, look at this. Another one. Clean that up too. That should get him pretty close to that Radiance, and he's going to have it at the ideal timing that we do see coming out, you know, even before the 14-minute mark probably coming out for him.
Oh, that is terrifying. There we go. Gonna see the Relic pick up there, and he is really close to being a huge issue. Meanwhile, Alliance, they're moving loaded down into the bottom lane. His top lane is no longer safe. They want to be able to push it out, get some structures, get some advantage, but I don't know. This is looking pretty tough. Alliance maybe trying to go in and contest up this gyrocopter. They're pinging him out. They'd love to go for a fight, but up top. Yeah, this Sand King. We've seen a lot of trouble with Sand Kings thus far in the series.
Ooh, we really have. And he had a pretty good laning start, but then as soon as Yapsor rotated, he's just dying every single time that he comes there. So now 4 deaths on Jonas, giving up a lot of experience since he's already level 8, and his net worth actually isn't really all that impressive.
Is that just people overestimating the hero? Because, I mean, this is multiple teams that have had trouble keeping their Sand King relevant and stopping the chain feed.
I think maybe a little bit, but I think it's just there's a couple deaths that maybe he shouldn't have had, but you know, maybe just playing a little over aggressive with the hero either way. But we did see it at least at Summit. Sand King was falling a little bit out of favor, so it could be something along those lines. Just the heroes. Just a little bit weaker than people actually expected.
Yeah, people are trying to figure out how to counter that pretty easily. And I mean, this Yapsor Rubik, just 2 thumbs up right now. He has 4, 1, and 4 as his KDA, almost 100% kill participation, and he has just been everywhere. Alliance, I mean, their Luna is running in fear of a Rubik. That's a yucky place to be on the dire side.
Yeah, they lost all 3 of their tier 1s, and now they lose access to their own jungle, so that's where Escape's going to be positioned for a bit, just farming up the enemy jungle. And now they're even smoked up, trying to make more rotations. They do see the Shadow Demon rotating in with their ward that they have placed. Let's see how they want to take it from here. They have the Radiance already finished, level 16 on Koifa. Smoke gets broken. They know somebody's up on the high ground there. They put the ward, but will they be able to catch anybody?
Is not
I don't
ideal.
think so.
Yeah. Speed from the Bloodlust is nice, but taking these Ancient stacks, that is going to be crippling to the Luna. They're bringing in everyone here. It looks like Alliance aren't going to be able to contest this, at least for now. The Ancients
instantly dead.
Fall so quickly, and you see Alliance, they're scampering towards the mid lane like, oh god, do we go? Do we not? They can't decide if they can initiate here, and it's going to cost Loda a huge stack of farm, and Alliance just not really getting anything out of the map during that time.
Yeah, Loda's feeling a little bit desperate. Nice D ward there by EGM, checking to see if they block the Ancients, and also just to see if there's that high ground ward. He does get it. And yeah, Loda, like I said, going for that Helmet Dominator now. They're feeling a bit pressured. Feels like he needs to go for a little bit more of a farming thing rather than going for that fighting Dragonlance type build where it makes him a little bit tankier.
Alright, Shadow Fiend saving up some pennies. We haven't seen a whole lot of impact from him. When do you think that's going to change, or is it going to change?
We'll see what he decides to go for. Like I mentioned, people tend to go for the Shadow Blade build, but maybe this game might just be a BKB one, even though there's a heavy amount of physical damage on Escape. They do have a lot of different forms of lockdown. I think that the timing isn't really up to the Shadow Fiend to make the plays. I think it's more so on the Sand King Blink Dagger.
And Sand King has been pretty consistently killed off in his laning phase. Tough time for him, like we talked about earlier. But we'll see. You never want to tap Alliance out. Again, they are a team that does not roll over. They fight to the bitter end. They've come back against Mega Creeps more than any other team I can think of off the top of my head. So I think this is going to be a very drawn-out fight. Again, it is all down to this single match on who goes home and who goes on to the Grand Finals versus Liquid next.
Yeah, you can tell the way that Alliance is feeling just super pressured, obviously because of the Dominator that the Luna picked up, but also with the way that they have their warding situations. They have a ward obviously watching the entrance into the Ancients, they have a ward entrance into their jungle there, in near their tier 1 mid, and then the other one up on the high ground there. So they're just very keen on just keeping themselves on their side of the map and just being very defensive, not wanting to maybe go for any aggressive plays yet.
Yep, Alliance making their home inside of the Radiant jungle, which is what you can do. And Escape's getting so aggressive and always being on the dire side of the map, just go on their side of the map. They're not going to expect it now.
Limp goes for the full Hurricane Pike, so I guess maybe breaking out of the Sprout and just being able to reposition himself can be quite handy. So it's an interesting pickup. We don't really see Shadow Fiends rush it too often, so we'll see how it pays off for him.
Quick, but he wants to move, he wants to get aggressive here. Hanskin popping out the cog just as a deterrent, but there's still going to be a fight going down. EGM going to get called down upon, has that self-disrupt, going to get trapped in the Sprout, goes in for that last bailout. Meanwhile, there's going to be a kill from Koikva, and they kill off the Shadow Demon. It's just kind of a bloodbath here. Escape, they're showing no signs of slowing down. Alliance can't seem to find anything they're looking for.
No mercy at all. It's like Koikva just finished up that Radiance at what, like the 1330 mark. He's got Boots of Travels finished up, Armlet obviously earlier on, and now he even picks up another bounty rune, and he's gonna have like 2200 plus gold once he pops that and they take out the Roche. So he's feeling very good right now.
Alright, in your opinion, Alchemist is a balanced hero?
I'm not a fan of Alchemist so much, but I think there's situations where he can be dealt with.
Oh, TP's out. Looks like all of Escape, they're going to be moving back, trying to go for this Limp. He shows himself on the map. He's going to be able to Hurricane himself to freedom now. There is going to be another Epi coming up from Jonas.
Misses the Burrow Strike after the blink. This might actually cost him his life now, too. He's up on the high ground here, getting burned by the Radiance, lifted.
Yeah.
Gonna get a stun follow from Koikva. He's got the Burrow Strike to the low ground, but Cinderin and Arrow there to clean him up.
That's just one of those situations where Escape just had no good options. Or rather, Alliance had no good options of how to get out of that fight without losing anything.
Yeah. Loda is just on the recovery mode, full out just farming with the Dominator. 2200 gold on him. He's sitting pretty far down on the net worth meter just because, the comparison to these other heroes on the side of Escape. They've cleaned up so many towers, taking Roche, taking all these different fights. 14-3 already on the kill score.
Now, I want to say I've seen Alliance come back from worse, but this is pretty grody here. Looking at the overall net worth chart, it is going to be a pretty big deficit. 10,000 gold advantage for Escape at only 18 minutes in, and that Alchemist is not going to be slowing down anytime soon.
Yep. I want to see... Alright, well, yeah, EGM did go for the build like I was mentioning. A couple points in the Shadow Poison just for the laning phase, and then now he maxes out the Disruption, so... See him, running around just, throwing Luna up a little bit, maybe just scouting with the illusions a little bit, but ideally, obviously, he wants to get the Disruptions on this Alchemist, because he'll be able to boost up his farm and even put some pressure on with those Alch Illusions with the Radiance. Koikva picks up an item, going for that... He's got the ulti orb, so more than likely we'll see him going for that, Mantha into Octarine, like always.
Yeah, it seems like Escape's very Alliance-esque draft is super working out. The Alchemist getting whatever he needed in lane, Nature's Prophet had a successful lane, and, I mean, this Gyrocopter, we've barely started to see his impact, but he is just going to all of a sudden boom onto that net worth chart.
Yeah, I mean, YapzOr's movement in this early game has been, so perfect and so precise.
Two thumbs up there.
Every single time he makes a move, he gets a kill for his team. He's just been accelerating his teammates' farms so much with these rotations. It's very good performance from this Rubik.
All right, up top, Alliance. I mean, they're feeling really closed in. They don't want to push past their tier 2s without a whole lot of vision, without a whole lot of heroes. So they're really limited in terms of what jungle camps they can take, in terms of where they can find farm on the map. And you've got a Shadow Fiend and a Luna that desperately need to just be stacking up constantly. The Ancients are going to be pretty hotly contested. Luna has to get good Ancient stacks in order to keep herself relevant here, but so far Escape have prioritized keeping those limited.
Yeah, they have a ward just watching it the whole time as well. And Alliance now puts a super defensive obs ward on their high ground there for that tier 2 top, but I mean, this is just Escape super easily able to push this, obviously with the net worth advantage and an Aegis. There's just no way that Alliance can contest this.
I mean, is this it? Can Escape just go high ground and barrel through some racks?
I think it's definitely possible they can go put some pressure on. They can force the reactions, force the TP back. They don't need to really like force the issue so much here, but forcing TPs back, limiting the farm is definitely really big. And here comes the illusions.
Alliance, they've got to do something here. This may be one of their last stands. Limp just tossing out raises, trying to clear out illusions, clear out the waves. But I mean, look at Nature's Prophet, all just starting to cut through EGM and Limp. Everyone doing their best to stay relevant. Now Jonas does have his epicenter. Could go in with a nice burrow strike to follow in. His blink's ready as well. But Escape, they know exactly where to position themselves so that if Sand King does come in, Sand King is not going to have a great time of it.
Yeah, they have eyes on Loda farming the Ancients too. So they know that there's like 3 or 4 heroes in the base. They know Loda's not there. So they're continuing this pressure for now with the Bloodlusted Gyrocopter, Bloodlusted Alchemist.
I mean, there's no reason to back off here. They're just going in, spraying out some slow siege damage. You got Nature's Prophet bopping up on the tower once or twice more. And now that Luna's going to be off the map, oh, they see him mid, but briefly losing vision of him. They're scared that maybe he crawled away and TP'd back, but with Escape getting some more vision and more information, they're just going to keep going.
Yeah, they're keeping Alliance in their base. They're keeping 4 heroes there. Loda is, of course, pushing the lane out and farming, but yeah, they're just keeping pressure, and that's important. And then now they have the BKB, I believe, coming out for Era. Yes, it is. So he has a massive amount of survivability on top of this Aegis, which should be getting reclaimed in the next minute or so.
Gyrocopter, he's going to feel like he can actually start to fight and really go in deeper into these initiations. Meanwhile, Loda trying to do what he can to keep these Ancients farmed just to make sure no one else steals them. It's a single stack of Ancients here, and he's doing his best. It's slow going, but I think Luna, if he gets a super clutch Eclipse, if there's lockdown to follow up, I mean, Alliance, they're not necessarily lacking on damage. It's more just the team fight control that they're pretty weak on.
I think they're like a little bit of damage. A little bit of damage for the Alchemist. He's just like this super beefy frontliner. How many points does he have? Does Rubik have in no field? Only 2 points right now, so 14% extra magic resistance. Reduces a lot of what Alliances has.
Jonas?
Yeah. Jonas.
He tries to farm. Not going to be the best plan for him. He will get initiated upon. I mean, they burned through a couple of really low cooldown skills on Escape, but Escape don't feel too threatened.
Yeah, YapzOr steals the Burrow Strike though, which is one of the best abilities that you can steal in this game. Aegis gets reclaimed by Rush, but Escape just wants to keep this pressure going on, keeping Alliance at bay. And Loda's trying his best. He's trying his damnedest to find as much farm as possible, but
I mean, you gotta give props for Alliance. They are still keeping their head in the game. It's probably gotta be a really tough mental space to be in, knowing this is your last chance in the entire tournament, and you've already fallen so far behind.
They got eyes on him. He sprouted up, tried to tongue blade out, but yeah, he's dead.
There's nothing he can do, man. He's just gonna get stunned up, killed off. He is able to buy out one component of his BKB before going down, but that is a small consolation prize to his, what, like 3rd death of the game? 4th?
Second death, actually.
Second, okay.
Yeah,
Not too bad.
They put a lot of pressure now.
Oh, hook shot in! Can they get the Alchemist here? He's holding on to such a huge portion of net worth. It would be a phenomenal kill to get. And they are able to get him down. That is almost 800 gold going straight to the Shadow Fiend. Limp, this is your window to try to get something done. Trixie, not going to complete his TP through. Hanskin goes, might end up getting blocked in here. The Cog's going to push Trixie further away. Looks like Clockwork should be able to make a clean escape. Meanwhile, Escape themselves going to be moving back from the top lane.
That's one way to kill an Alk, you know. Isolate him completely and get a full damage Requiem right on top of his face, but
I mean, look how much that boosted Shadow Fiend in terms of overall net worth. He is feeling pretty comfy.
Yeah. Definitely a little bit of space. Losing your Luna for an Alchemist, almost worth it.
Alk's still a ways to go before you can tear him down from the top slot of net worth. He's still doing phenomenally in terms of his item progression, in terms of his impact in the game. Sometimes we see alchemists that, yeah, they have crazy items, but they haven't really done a whole lot to help their team. They haven't been participating in fights or pushing or whatnot, and I mean, this Alk has been super active from minute 1.
Yeah, I mean, YapzOr just kind of enabled him a lot too, just with those rotations with the acid spray on top.
Right, our Rubik, he's saving up his money. Is that just going to be a blink on a Rubik, getting the most out of his mobility?
Yeah, more than likely. Keeps doing the Burrow Strike. It's such a great instant disable on top of the blink too with his telekinesis. I think Synderen will probably go for either like a pipe or a glimmer cape, but he's always very low on that net worth chart just because that's the role that they play, that's the style that they play, giving YapzOr very heavy emphasis on the farm as a super heavy farming 4, while Synderen is like the 6 or the 7, kind of in a way.
All right, Loda continuing to take those single stack of Ancients, just working towards his big items. I mean, this Luna feels so stunted. You look at the net worth chart, and he's sitting a fair amount below the Nature's Prophet, who's just been not necessarily the most active, going in with some clutch sprouts, but Luna's just got so much work to do before she's going to be the big right clicker, the big damage dealer in these fights.
Yeah, I mean, playing Luna, you want to be playing from ahead. You want to have an item ahead of the opponent, not be playing from behind. Playing behind as a Luna it's pretty crap, to be honest. Like, if you ask a lot of these players who, like, super emphasize playing like Luna, like, even Ramses and stuff, I chatted with him a bit at Summit, and he always says it too. He's just like, you have to be ahead as a Luna, otherwise you're in a really bad position.
Alliance, they've come back from bad positions before. We'll see if they're going to do it this time, but Escape still holding on to a huge kill lead, a huge net worth lead, and now they're going to be picking up more towers in their name.
BKB now coming out for Loda, so at least he's got that magic immunity, but his damage is not really the highest with these type of items. He doesn't have the mana to complete, he's quite squishy with only 1200 HP on Agi Treads, but he does have that magic immunity.
The good news is, if Alliance somehow manage a full team wipe on Escape, which probability is slim, they do have incredibly fast push.
Yep.
Jonas.
Oh, yep, so Steve's the stun, but doesn't get it on him, but it gets the lift anyway, and yeah, he's dead.
That's just gonna be Yapzor doing Yapzor things to follow up from a huge damage dealing Koipa. Anskin, he's sitting here in the trees. He's probably going to be on edge a little bit, knowing there's some serious stuff going down right below him. Limp, going to get initiated upon the call down comes in. He's going to BKB, try to fight through this. Hanskin goes in with the initiation, gets the cogs off, but doesn't trap anyone within them. Cinderin getting low. They will be able to kill off the Ogre. Can they find anything else for themselves? Trees, they join the fight. And there's Luna trying to do something, but oh, they're focusing down Luna here. Is she going to be able to get out alive? Pops into the BKB. Loda is just going to be running back for safety. They lose to Alliance. Don't have a detrimental fight. They are able to find something in return, but Escape still feeling dominant.
Yeah, definitely a decent effort, almost bringing down a couple heroes there. Like, once this Alchemist gets super buff, you know, the Shadow Demon able to get the illusions of this Alch are pretty damn devastating, but Alchemist now, he's going to be picking up his full Octarine at the shop, sells his bottle, and there it is.
Alright, so if you're Alliance right now, if you are somehow microing all 5 players, what is the most important thing for you to do during these engages? Is it lock down the Alchemist? Does it prevent the Rubik from getting in there and controlling you up? It seems like Alliance just have such a big laundry list of things they need to do to take a successful engage.
That pretty much sums it up, actually. They just have a lot of different things that they have to do. These fights can't go just like a straight up 5v5. They have to bait BKB from the gyrocopter, maybe catch them just completely out of position, but it's definitely Escape's game to lose, and it's about Alliance just like capitalizing on big mistakes from Escape rather than like them really making any big moves, unless maybe just like a 5-man epicenter, which I don't think that'll really happen because we have Escape being very keen on their positioning when they're going into those type of fights. They put like the 2 supports in the back lines with like the 2 heavy frontliners, and that's pretty much how it's going to be for the majority of this.
Yeah, sometimes we see teams that are super far ahead, particularly with Alchemist, but then there's no other cores that are formidable, and if you lock down the Alchemist 2 or 3 times, all of a sudden there is a huge comeback potential, but let's assume that Koikfa just walks away from his keyboard and stops playing the game. You've still got Era, you've still got Trixie that are more than capable of carrying this match.
Yeah, they're doing pretty well, but yeah, I mean, the Alchemist is he's very important for the lineup just because Shadow Fiend's actually getting pretty big. You know, he's even going back for this Dominator now too, so he's going for this super late game oriented build. This Hurricane Pike BKB and now Dominator to try to scale harder into like later stages. What does Luna have? Loda still just sitting on the same item, so he's not really able to farm at all any extra.
I think Escape are tend to let this BKB wear thin, keep trying to bait out those little fights, keep making Alliance scared to go out and farm. Meanwhile, Escape, they're just going to scale.
Yeah, it looks like they kind of wanted to press the issue a bit, just because took me a couple tries there. Press the issue a little bit just because Koifa picks up a BKB now, so maybe they want to force a high ground just with that. But yeah, they have very heavy scaling potential, obviously, because everybody benefits from an Aghanims on their team. And yeah, they're just, you know, super far ahead at this point with us. Almost a 17,500 gold lead. All
right, Koikfa, I know you've been listening to these panels. Get that Ags for Gyrocopter. Just make Slax's day. You can do it. You're far enough ahead.
Yeah, I should give it to literally everyone first. Like Yapzor, Trixie, I mean, yep. I mean, honestly, Rubik with an Aghanims this game would be sick. If you steal Requiem, if you steal Eclipse, if you steal Epicenter, if you steal Shadow Demon's Purge.
Oh, this could be really bad for our Shadow Fiend. Just gonna go EGM trying to do his best to keep his team safe. There's gonna be the concoction connecting on him on the back lines. Meanwhile, it's just gonna be these racks slowly under siege. Alliance, they really can't do much against this. Buyback on the Clockwork. Reinitiation comes in from Jonas, but I don't really think there's any sustainable team fight from Alliance right now. Loda popping the Lucid Beam on Illusions, but these racks are melting way quicker than Alliance can deal with Limp. He's BKB'd up. He's trying to drive back the rest of Escape, but moving forward for that, channeling up the Requiem, he's not going to be able to do that much damage, even with a bunch of souls. He's still got everyone pretty much full health on Escape. Era moving forward, he's going to be BKB'd up. He's giant. Hanskin goes in, hook reinitiation. Era gets low, but that's going to be a dieback on the Clockwork, and there's going to be a buyback on the Shadow Demon. It is, oh, it's all falling apart here, Alliance. They don't want to tap out to the bitter end, but it's not looking promising for them. Escape still feeling unbelievably dominant. The Gyrocopter lived throughout the entire fight.
Yeah, he even has Aegis on top too, so if he did die, he just comes back with full life, so... Escape
Is this a
looking to close
rapier
this
from
game
our
out.
Gyro?
I don't think he needs to.
Oh, come on. It's fun. It's style points. We are at the lower bracket finals. Winner moves on to face Liquid. You gotta do something stylish to get their attention to make them think that you are a real threat.
Doesn't need it. No, it's... I mean, Demon Edge is just prepping for, like, the later stages, going into, like, MKB for the butterflies if they ever are gonna be coming out, but they're probably not.
that
It
is-
just looks like it might be game ender very soon right now.
I would
coming
say
up with
actually, you
Escape.
pop the Aegis onto the Gyro, but that's going to be Loda completely controlled up. Quakefa is just a machine charging in past the tier 4, is able to solo down that Shadow Fiend. He buys back into the game. You've got both cores from Alliance getting themselves back in, but now they're poor. They don't have any buyback. Hanskin initiates onto the Alchemist. That's a big hero to try to get down. Loda ends up dropping the Eclipse. It's doing some damage, but it's split so thin that it just feels like they can't do much. You see Quakefa taking up an entire
Stolen Eclipse from
epi.
the App Store.
Oh, it's
Takes out both of the cores
It's,
from Alliance, and
it's
GG
GG
well
well
played.
played.
It's called. So, funny little fact too is in every series that Escape has played here at the DreamHack Finals, Asus ROG DreamLeague DreamHack Finals, they have actually lost their first game every single time and then come back with a 2-0 victory afterwards. So, planned. Cinderin Master Tactics. Lose first game, win second, and third.
I think that's exactly it. I think that is 100% the plan right from the start. What a hype series, though. You saw Alliance looking beyond dominant.